Yo, what's up, my YouTube fam? How the heck are you all doing today? I am so glad you clicked the link, pulled on up to the channel. We get to hang out for a little while today while we peep out some Chris Webby Sandbox. This was a subscriber's donation request from Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy, for putting this one in. Yo, I am always down to check out some new Chris Webby. I'm still pretty new to him overall. I think I discovered him back when he did little joints here with Scott Storch on, I think it was maybe his last album. I don't know. And then, of course, the Inpatient series he's been doing with Ren here. And I did check out Raw Thought 7, which was my first, real introduction to, deep Webby. You know what I'm saying? Like, the ones I listened to before were just kind of like, you know, talking about getting fucked up and whatever. And it was super dope. Like, I really like every song I've heard from him. But I am pretty fascinated in diving deeper into his Raw Thoughts series and more songs like that. But anything, whatever it is, I'm down for it. The Inpatient series has been pretty wild. That's been a great ride, and I'm stoked to get to peep out some more. So if this is your first time hanging out with me, word, I am glad you are here, but I have to warn you, I'm going to be stopping, pausing, and talking about this video, the music, the lyrics, the beats, the technique, whatever comes to mind. If that bugs you, you want to hear it first, yo, there's a link right down there. It's going to bounce you to the homeboy Chris Webby's channel. Like, subscribe, and comment while you're there. Then hit that back button. Hit our comment section up with your thoughts. Join the conversation, and let's see what we got cracking here with Chris Webby. Once again, shout out to Jimmy for this one. If you want to do a donation request, there are PayPal and Cash App links in the description down there as well. Just be sure to put the song name in there also, and you can hit me up on Instagram as well. Make sure you follow me. It makes it so much easier for me to see your messages. If you do, then just DM me on there as well. You heard? All right, enough talking. Let's get to jamming. Let's pull up this big screen here for me with Chris Webby, Sandbox. What's he got on there? It says King. Say word. All right, let's go, everybody.
Strike fear in the heart of my foes where I go.
Right off the top.
Too raw for the TV shows or the radio.
Say word to that.
And I try to make friends, but still I always end up in my sandbox alone.
Okay.
They don't want to play with me, they afraid of me, I know.
I'd like to sing song. I'm assuming that's the chorus right there, more than likely. We immediately learn what the sandbox in the song title is in reference to. Okay, cool. That's the sandbox he likes to play in. I like the music here has been interesting, even though it's just the intro. And I got to run it back. I like his chain. Does he always have this? Does he always have this here, this medallion that looks like a web? That makes sense. Now, you know, he's commented on a few of my reactions, and I see he puts that little web in there, and I was like, oh, obviously Chris Webby. That's cool. He made a pendant out of it too. I like when rappers have chains that have their shit on it. You know what I mean? Like the Death Row chains were famous. My last name is Cash. Like, I would have a cool ass chain if I was a rapper too, with like a big old dollar symbol on it or something. You heard? All right, enough talking. Let's go.
And I try to make friends, but still I always end up in my sandbox alone. They don't want to play with me, they afraid of me, I know. See, I came for war, with the blood that'll stain the sword. Pulling up around the bodies that'll lay on the floor. I'm a category 4, when it rains it pours. Yeah, kicking down the frame of your door. I got the hammer of Thor to send shocks that'll rattle your cord. Spatter the walls, that's what I brought the janitors for. My hands on the trigger, and that's what they've been panicking for. I'll go to war like you know.
I like how he used the 4 again right there too.
Obi Yoda and Anakin or Harrison Ford. And I'm hitting the warp drive, get caught.
Okay, I think he's switching the rhyme up right here. That was a super dope rhyme scheme. I like that a lot. I also just noticed he's got the Webby symbol on this sword right here as well. I said that I like the way he used 4 again, because it might just sound repetitive on an initial listen because he repeated the word 4, but he did it in a way where he made it a homophone, which is a word that sounds the same or is spelled the same but has a different meaning. And so he used it with 2 different meanings right there, which takes it away from, like, if a rapper just repeats a word as a rhyme, it's kind of lazy, you feel me? But a homophone makes it, yeah, super creative. Let's run this back just a little bit. I really like this rhyme scheme with like the OR rhymes consistent all the way through here.
Play with me, they afraid of me, I know. See, I came for war, with the blood that'll stain the sword, pulling up around the bodies that'll lay on the floor. I'm a category 4, when it rains it pours. Yeah, kicking down the frame of your door. I got the hammer of Thor to send shocks that'll rattle your cord, spatter the walls. That's what I brought the janitors for. My hands on the trigger, and that's what they've been panicking for. I'll go to.
I like that line. He said he's going to splatter so much blood, he just brought a janitor with him. I like that. That was dope.
Or like Kenobi, Yoda, and Anakin, or Harrison Ford.
I really like the way he put the or in there to carry this rhyme scheme. Like he's got the little he's got this little Star Wars bit in here, and then he says the or, so he continues in that OR rhyme scheme that he had going on, and then he throws in the Harrison Ford instead of saying Han Solo. Like, so it continues with the OR rhyme there too, while getting the exact same point across. Like that's Chris Webby's a lyricist too. I'm coming to realize here.
That'll rattle your cord, spatter the walls. That's what I brought the janitors for. My hands on the trigger, and that's what they've been panicking for. I'll go to war like Kenobi, Yoda, and Anakin, or Harrison Ford. And I'm hitting the warp drive, get caught like a fall guy with a boot to the cross-side. I got crosshairs on the hair, on the heads, and the jaw lines of my enemies, so I squeeze.
Got cross hairs on the hairs on their head. Nice.
Until fuck it, we all die. I'm only showing up for the blood like a horsefly.
Wait, I want to know. Did you say something about the fall guy? Hold on.
Fall guy with a
yeah, right there. Hold on.
My hands on the trigger, and that's what they've been panicking for. I'll go to war like Kenobi, Yoda, and Anakin, or Harrison Ford. And I'm hitting the warp drive, get caught like a fall guy with a.
I'm hitting the warp drive, get caught like the fall guy. Now, you might initially think that's a movie reference because there was a movie called The Fall Guy that just came out, but The Fall Guy is more of just like a criminal reference. Like the Fall Guy in its original context is the guy you blame your crime on, who goes down for your dirt. That's the fall guy, so you can get away clean.
To the cross-side, I got crosshairs on the hair, on the heads, and the jaw lines of my enemies, so I squeeze until fuck it, we all die. I'm only showing up for the blood like a horsefly. I don't care if it's yours, mine, on, or it's offsides. Fuck a line and
the offsides is really nice. And these are great two-syllable rhymes on this particular rhyme scheme he's got going here too. Like, I guess I'm throwing that word around a lot, and I think maybe a lot of reactors do, with the assumption that everybody knows what a rhyme scheme is. So let's talk about that for a minute here. I mean, it's pretty obvious, the rhyme, the scheme. You can kind of figure, okay, it's a rhyme pattern, and they're very important. Like Shock G, who was a rapper with Digital Underground, he's no longer with us, rest in peace. He has a quote, which I can't remember verbatim, but it's something along the lines of, a good MC's rhyme patterns are as important, or should be held in the same regard by him as a good graffiti artist's illustrations are held. They have their own flair, their own style, and their own distinct nature, okay? And there's different ways. It's not just a pattern of rhymes, but it's the different ways that you're putting the rhymes in there. Like we'll talk about three basic ones real quick, and then we'll move on, okay? There's the couplet. All right, a couplet is where the last word at the end of the line, at the end of the bar, rhymes with the last word at the end of the next bar. Okay, pretty standard, like poetry right there. Okay, the next thing you can do is call it a single liner, where if you have two bars of lyrics, they're not connected with a rhyme at all. Instead, the rhymes are internally in the one line itself. Okay, and then you have multi-liners, which we've seen a great example here with Chris, where the rhyme scheme is just carrying on and on and on through several lines, just boom, 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 going on and out. And then you can mix those three things up in all different ways. And there's more rhyme schemes than that. Okay, there's more advanced techniques, but there's kind of like a basic introduction to that. And on top of all that, you mix in there different styles of actual rhymes themselves, like a one syllable, a multi-syllable, a homonym, etc., to really add flair and style to what you're hearing here. Okay, and Chris is doing a fucking great job of all the above right here. But so when we're talking about rhyme scheme switching or whatever, it also might deal up with like the subject matter. Like for a minute, he touched on Star Wars for a bar or two. It's all kind of encompassed in what we mean by rhyme scheme. Okay, now Let's go back to the beginning of this rhyme scheme and go.
I'm only showing up for the blood like a horsefly. I don't care if it's yours, mine, on, or it's offsides. Fuck a line in the sand, my man, that's small time. Look around, what I've drawn on the ground's a fault line. All I see round here is afraid-ass rappers. Just a bunch of Diddy party going gay-ass rappers. Flying with Epstein when they need to get away, and because they tend to like them underage-ass rappers. Flight log of the plain-ass rappers.
Oh, I love how he's carrying out this ass rappers all the way through here as a descriptive, derogatory way to talk about all these fools and then to tie it all together. Again, another great example of a rhyme scheme here he's doing with the repetition of this ass rappers after every rhyme. Hell yeah. And fuck all these, I can't say certain words, fuck all these PDF files and minor loving assholes.
Tend to like them underage ass rappers. Flight log of the plain ass rappers. Sucking dick for the fame ass rappers.
He's a flight log on the plane ass rappers.
Yeah, this game ass backwards. Just a bunch of fake ass rappers making Illuminati hand gesturing like they in a gang ass rappers.
Ooh, making Illuminati hand gestures like they in a gang ass rappers.
I used to think if I was actually fire and had the talent to inspire from a track to decipher and worked hard on my craft, I could bridge the gap. But silly me, if I'd spent that time trafficking my...
You guys hear this music in the background? You hear that? I don't know what, there's some kind of stringed instrument going on in the background that's very like Italian feeling to me, like mafioso Italian feeling, but not like Brooklyn Italian mafioso, like back home in Sicily Italian mafioso vibe, kind of reminiscent of Nas's song Affirmative Action, that Spanish Italian style guitar in the beginning. I don't know if I'm just making verbiage up here, but it gets the vibe that I'm trying to get across to get you to see where I'm coming from. I hear that in the background here as well, that just kind of kicked in on this, and I really fuck with it. I like that a lot.
I was actually fire and had the talent to inspire from a track to decipher and worked hard on my craft, I could bridge the gap. But silly me, if I'd spent that time trafficking minors, I'd be sacrificing goats with Jay-Z and B with a Grammy on my wall, but that just ain't me. What I am is a beast and ain't none of them ready. The Baphomet can't even save them if they fucking with Webby.
Damn, he said the Baphomet can't even save them if they fucking with Webby. Woo!
Strike fear in the heart of my foes everywhere I go.
Castle is pretty sick, man.
Too raw for the TV shows or the radio. And I try to make friends, but still I always end up in my sandbox alone. They don't wanna play with me, they afraid of me, I know. Better listen, fucking with Webb's a bad choice, like hiring the Clintons for babysitting. I'm flipping, bust a couple shots with precision. Even the devil second guessing, messing with Christian. No stopping the shit I write. If I got you up in my sights, I can't.
Hold up, is his name Christian? Is his not Christopher? I mean, Chris could be short for either one, because he said the devil, like it sounded like he referenced himself with the first name of Christian right there. I guess he could just be talking about Christians, but let's hear that again. Dude, where was this video shot? That castle is sick, yo.
They afraid of me, I know. Better listen, fucking with Webb's a bad choice, like hiring the Clintons for babysitting. I'm flipping, bust a couple shots with precision.
I really like his choice of cadence right here. He's mixing things up with his cadence to create an overall flow of this song that I really like.
Even the devil second guessing, messing with Christian.
Yeah, he's talking about don't mess with Webby, and then he said even the devil second guessing, messing with Christian. So I'm gonna assume right here. Please let me know, Webby fans, in the comments. Is that his Christian name, Christian?
Stopping the shit I write. If I got you up in my sights, I can't help but to squeeze one off. No one's off limits tonight. Whether politician, a pope to Obama and Big Mike. Pardon me, I meant to say his very masculine wife. Yeah, you could say I'm used to being in hot water. Ever since the thoughts that I got rawer. Sacred cows.
I think he just referenced his own Raw Thoughts series with that one. I'm used to being in hot water ever since the thoughts that I got hotter or rawer. I think he didn't say hotter, he said rawer.
Wife, yeah, you could say I'm used to being in hot water. Ever since the thoughts that I got rawer. Sacred cows around me get slaughtered.
Ooh, sacred cows around me get slaughtered. Nice.
Water. Ever since the thoughts that I got rawer. Sacred cows around me get slaughtered. Duraflame flow when I spark, I'm a fire starter. Don't bark up the wrong tree and don't step in the wrong puddle. Cause Webby's a raw dog, need a leash or a strong muzzle. I suggest you reconsider before you go start trouble. Trust you don't want your name up in one of my thought bubbles. I ain't started as a cub in the pride, but I grown some. Now there ain't a piece of the savannah that I don't run.
I started out as a cub in the pride, but I grown some. Now there ain't a piece of the savannah that I don't run, I think he said. And also this guitar in the background really kicked in again with the heavy, like, to me, I'm just going to call it Italian mafioso vibes. I really like it.
He's a raw dog, you
Here,
he's
it's
a
gonna come in
strong
right
muscle.
here.
I suggest you reconsider before
Right
you
after
will
this.
start trouble. Trust, you don't want your name up in one of my thought
Right
bubbles.
here.
I started as a cub in
Hear
the
that?
pride, but I grown some. Now there ain't a piece of the savannah that I don't run. Giant with it, follow my fee fi with a faux funk.
Giant with it. Follow my fee-fi with the faux fum. Yeah, come on, man.
Solitaire with it, still playing by my lonesome.
Solitaire with it, still playing by my lonesome. Yeah, that's a nice little metaphor there, too.
I am the mic, the microphone shogun. Never give ground, I bow down to no one.
Yeah, come
Veins pump frozen, blood of the chosen. You'll never see another like me, the mold's broken. I cause commotion, I fit the bill of an apex predator, in for the kill. If I don't taste blood, it better at least spill. And
His cadence right here is dope. I really like it. And it's just, he's just doing minor alterations to his cadence throughout the song. Nothing like crazy, but man, they're subtle and they're dope. And he did a nice one right here.
a mold's broken, I cause commotion. I fit the bill of an apex predator, in for the kill. If I don't taste blood, it better at least spill and water the fucking plants on the dirt of the battlefield. Got wounds that won't heal, but left a lot too. That's why they regroup platoons and withdrew.
I really like that too. I got wounds, but I left a lot too. That's why they regroup. That's why they regroup. I can't even talk. Never mind. Holy shit, I'm tongue-tied. Regroup platoons, I think he said. Wow.
A mold's broken, I cause commotion. I fit the bill of an apex predator, in for the kill. If I don't taste blood, it better at least spill and water the fucking plants on the dirt of the battlefield. Got wounds that won't heal, but left a lot too. That's why they regroup platoons and withdrew. I play solitaire cause
That's why they regroup platoons and withdrew. These are hard syllables for me to say.
they scared to lose. Better run, run when I come through. Strike fear in the heart of my foes everywhere I go. Too raw for the TV shows or the radio.
This background music is...
And I try to make friends, but still I always end up in my sandbox alone. They don't wanna play with me, they afraid of.
They got the bass cranked up heavy, so it's way more noticeable, but just that slightly lower level of all these classical instruments playing in the background. I'm hearing strings and horns and piano. It's great. And now it looks like we're about to get some electric guitar to cap this out as well. Who is that? Is that a famous guitar player? I can't even see him.
Me, I know.
Word. Yeah.
They don't wanna play with me, they afraid of me, I know.
Damn. I like that. That's a nice addition.
They don't wanna play with me, they afraid of me, I know.
Yeah, boy, that was tight. I like that. I like that electric guitar outro. I didn't imagine that coming because it's been just really bass heavy with the much fainter classical instrumentation in the background. The electric kind of came out of the blue, but that was dope. Who was that? Was that somebody famous? I don't know. I'm not up on my guitar players, honestly. Whoever it was, he was jamming. That whole song was jamming, though. I really like that a lot, man. Webby is a real lyricist. I'm learning, like for real. Like he's got a strong pen game. Like I'm very interested in diving more into his catalog, man. Of course, we're going to continue to check out all the inpatient releases as they come forward. And I think here at the same time, we're just going to continue to mix in some of Webby's older back catalog as well, because I'm really enjoying this. What about you? What do you think of that song that you just heard? Is what comes to mind, man? For me, I like to hear rappers talking about opinions and getting some of these controversial subjects out here. Man, if we don't have discussions about these types of things, how are we going to wake up to what's going on around us? And I think it's very important that we learn to have these discussions. Like even if you heard this song and like, let's say you liked everything but like the content of what he was saying. Maybe his opinions bothered you, but you still want to enjoy the song and you feel like, oh, I can't because his crazy opinions. I just like to remind everybody, opinions are not a crime. If you want to support the channel, there's links for these in the description. But like seriously, and I don't just mean like a crime where we see some governments locking people up for their opinions now, but it shouldn't be a social crime either to have a different opinion. You can disagree with everything that Webby just said, but you should still be able to enjoy him as a music. If you like the style of what he just delivered, if you like the music, you like his flow and cadence, maybe you just were like, these lyrics aren't for me, I would just say that's okay. Don't hate. We can all get along a little bit better and come together enough to get rid of these people in power if we just remember that it's okay to have different opinions. You feel me? All right, I'm done preaching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you all in the next video. All right, peace.